opened up. Why is this over here? How do we get? I guess we bring this over here. Yeah. Your desktop computer's on here rather than over here. It's usually over here.
Oh.
This is usually over here.
Just move it. Grab the.
That's what I did. And I did.
And then you gotta put it in the internet though. Oh, or you just leave it there. Yeah. It's gotta go all the way on the window.
It's gotta go all the way
on the side.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Hey, what's going on, guys? Bunch of. Yeah, I'm actually up. I'm online now, guys. Yeah, I gotta run the double PC. Ugh. Pauldron's over there in the background working on his newest mask. I think.
It's not a new mask. It's just an extra piece of the costume.
Oh, it's an extra piece. So I thought he became the mask writer and a thumbnail, right? The thumbnail is on point. It's very important to have a thumbnail. Be very important to have a thumbnail because there's a lot to talk about. We got all night. We got all night. Let me get that tweet ready for you guys. Give me a second. I gotta get the tweet. I gotta open up the window. There's a lot to talk about. We gotta go through hashtag stuff, Dragon Ball stuff, Billy Mitchell stuff. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Around the net and back. Alright, guys. We put it in the Discord room. Oh, wow. I can't even put stuff in the room before it's already in there. Okay. Alright. Please retweet. Gotta get heads on it. Bring up my hashtag. I am bothered tremendously by the nonsense that's going on. You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. Alpha, Striker, Rosalina, Red Ice, and Jarion's all in the room. One moment. Uno momento, por favor. Yes, that's 1 minute, please, right? Oh, yes, I can remember Spanish.
Well, 1 moment.
Huh?
1 moment.
No, por favor means please, right?
1 moment is what you said. You said 1 moment, por favor.
Yes, 1 moment, please. Oh, okay. Paste. Why is red? Your Supernova. What does IE means? Swag chew. Don't worry, it's Canadian. Okay. Jakar, remember when people said Topo might be stronger than Jiren? I don't
I don't
remember anybody saying that. I'm sorry, Jakar. I don't remember anybody saying that. Like, I don't remember anybody who said that. Even if you're a Vegeta fan and you said that, you're an idiot. But that's wrong. That's name calling. You're not an idiot, but you are mentally challenged. So let's refrain from name calling. Let us refrain from name calling. Alright, I got it out. So I got it out on Discord. I got it out on hashtag. I'm not even really gonna post this on wait a minute. I'm not even gonna post this on my Facebook. I just want to get to the chat immediately. Pop out this chat. I got a bunch of questions to talk about. Things to do. So I'll be streaming here, guys, until about 1. It depends on what the how far we reach into the topic and how far we're going. Well, yeah, let me keep this extra window open right here. All right, guys, what's going on? I'm back in the non-driver's seat. So as you guys can see in the titles, like, you know, around the net and back, what's going on. It's a bunch of nonsense. What we're gonna start with, guys? You just want to get straight into the grit and the grind with Twin Galaxies, or do we want to talk about the absolute disappointment of Dragon Ball, or some other stuff regarding EMP? So in fact, yeah, let's just do that. Hello. Am I in here alone? I'm constantly in here alone.
No.
Nah, bro, we're here.
Oh. Sounds quiet. Where did everybody go? Everybody left?
I don't know.
No, they're probably just playing video games.
Oh, that makes sense. Crap.
I'm here, I'm just muted.
Alright. Can't get any VC today. Where is VC?
Voice chat.
Oh, you can't. Oh, it's voice chat. Okay. Alright, so I guess I'll start it off. So, I get this message. Let me read something to you guys, right? Read this to you guys on so someone messages me on YouTube. So for those who don't know, you know the thing with the Todd Rogers legacy coming to an end, right? There's a question mark and so forth. So I want to ask you guys a question. Please give me I need your feedback on this, right? Very important, because I want to see what you guys think versus, you know, what the heck? Why is this blown up like this? I really want to see what you guys think versus what's put out on the net. That video regarding the Todd Rogers was like Todd Rogers legacy comes to an end, and I put question mark, and in it I'm talking about, you know, the entire situation regarding Todd Rogers and the decision that Guinness made and Twin Galaxies. Like whoa. The decision that Twin Galaxies made and all of that. What do you guys think about that? Well, what do you think the message? What do you think the message was regarding that?
The message is we're taking out the Elder Gods. Todd was first.
No. That's the message. That's the message we talk about on the side. The video. What is the video talking about?
Didn't watch the video.
Didn't watch the video. Okay. Fair enough. Oh my goodness, Edeka, you just seem to come on when I'm coming on. Oh boy. I don't know if I should just get off of the Edeka stream and then I'll come back. Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah, he streams for a while, bro, so.
He streams for a while? Oh, okay. Well, Swag you. Peace. Later, man. Sage said, what do you think will end up happening to Twin Galaxies due to Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell? Due to the Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell thing. That's a good question, Sage. Honestly speaking, that you have Twin Galaxies, and then you have like Walter Day's Twin Galaxies, and then you have today's Twin Galaxies, and Walter Day's Twin Galaxies is already etched into history, um, based on how the community sees it. Walter Day's legacy is more like the King of Kong. When you watch the King of Kong movie, all of that stuff going on in the King of Kong, the fact that he laid down the infrastructure to turn competitive gaming into a sport, with all the legends that played 1982 photo shoot and working with Guinness and stuff like that. So that's really what it is. The modern Twin Galaxies is it it retains the history, but it focuses more on esports today, which is just that's actually good. Me personally, I kind of like that. You know, are you kidding me? One second, guys. All right. Let's see if this works now. There's a whole bunch of things that just get in my way. Oh my goodness, the Empire thing doesn't work. Whatever. All right. So the thing regarding them is that this nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna change regarding Twin Galaxies. They're gonna continue to do what they do. They modernized the Twin Galaxies original website to, well, actually it's modernizes. It's a complete overhaul of the site. What's that thing what they do when they come to your house, and it's like when they say, this is your house, and then they make the house like a brand new with a whole bunch of stuff. Is it renovate? Yes, renovate, right? Well, this Twin Galaxies,
Remodel.
huh? Remodel? Okay. Remodel or renovate. Twin Galaxies as a site has been remodeled and re-renovated completely. And so it still retains its history foundation. The house is still where it came from and whatever, but it's completely new now. So they focus now the classic infrastructure in terms of, okay, you can still go to some of these classic gaming events, like the event that's in Banning and stuff like that. They'll tell you what's the next arcade expo going on, and stuff like that. So you can still do the classic gaming, submit the classic world records, all that other stuff. All of that's there. Jagan, what's up, man? Jagan's in the room. But it more now focuses on the newer games, what's going on in modern esports as opposed to classic esports and all that other stuff. It goes through all of that stuff. So that, like, in terms of what Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell, despite what you guys think, like this is damaging Twin Galaxies, is in a sense it is, but in a sense it doesn't. Has anyone read the website traffic of Twin Galaxies since the Todd Rogers situation? My man, the site has gotten more clicks now because of the Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell situation than perhaps in the history of Twin Galaxies. We could call it Twin Gates. The thumbnail is epic. Oh, we're gonna get to that part of the thumbnail, Baraka. We'll get to that part of the thumbnail because there's some things I want to talk about. Like I said, we're gonna be here for a while. The last 5 or 6 days, I have been mentally. There's a word for this. I have just been. Oh my God, the internet's really internet. Really, we're gonna do this right now. The internet wants to do this right now. Guys, talk to me. Say something, so I gotta check the internet.
What up? What up? What up? It's your boy.
This is so stupid. Why don't want to do when Pauldron was streaming? Did this happen to you guys?
It was being slow. People were complaining about it. Being what's it called, laggy. But
Well, it's going back to being laggy right now. I
I
don't.
put it on auto and I had no issue, but yeah, I think it's doing it anyway with you now.
Let me try this. I'm gonna stop streaming for a second. I'm gonna come back. Oh, Hector, come inside the room. Okay, it looked like it's stabilized. It looked like it's stabilized, but I want to try something. I'm gonna stop the stream for a second. I actually, you know something? I'm gonna leave it right now. We'll wait to see if it lags again. If it lags again, just let me know, guys. Public voice room where we're talking. Oh my goodness. How do you move someone into a room?
I think you can just drag them, can't you?
I'm looking for Hector. He's from the classic gaming community, so definitely want him to come up in here.
He's in stream room number 2.
Why is he in stream room number 2?
Now he's in public voice room.
Oh, I don't see him in public voice room.
He's in the top public voice room up by the Commonwealth channel.
Why? Wait, time out. Why are we all in the nobility hall? Oh, that's why. All right,
That's where you were.
all right. Everybody, go into the voice room. Yo, what's up? Hello. Wait, what the hell? Yeah, I gotta move. I was under the impression that everybody was originally in the public voice room. Sorry about that. Yep.
What up?
What's up? That's probably why everyone couldn't even come in here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Yeah.
Yo, Hector, what's up?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Just getting my headphones on.
Sorry about that. I thought I was in the we were in the wrong room. You were actually in the right room, but we was in the
Okay.
wrong room.
Yeah, that explains it.
Sage, that's not your internet. It's not your internet, Sage. It's our internet. Our internet's bugging. All right, everyone, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna stop streaming and then jump back on for real quick. One moment.
Sure.
Oh my God, it started the stream and went back up. This lag is, I don't know where this lag is coming from, man. It's just bugging out. 10:30 at night. What would make the internet go crazy like this? Oh my goodness, I'm used to wearing my jacket so I can so I can wear something. Sorry about that. How do I sound inside the Discord, guys?
Good.
All right. Okay, so if I sound good in the Discord, I guess we can continue to go. But yeah, so answering the question. So somebody asked a question, Hector, you were in here. It said how I'm gonna reread it. It says, what do you think will end up happening to Twin Galaxies due to the Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell thing? And I was trying to explain to him that nothing will happen to Twin Galaxies per se. Twin Galaxies was it's bringing a lot of traffic to Twin Galaxies. More people are becoming more and more interested in what's going on. You know, it's it's nuts, man. The media that's getting involved in this. I'm talking about mainstream media, what we call
It's blown up. I
corporate
mean, they're
media.
talking about it at my job, and they're not even, no one there is gamers, and they're talking about Todd Rogers, Billy Mitchell, mainly Billy Mitchell, Todd Rogers because of Billy Mitchell.
Yeah, and vice versa, and all of these big media they're all getting involved, and they want to all know the story and so forth. If anything gets hurt, it's really just the players per se. It's not necessarily Twin Galaxies, because when people go to Twin Galaxies, they will see what Twin Galaxies is about, which is a modern version of TG. It's not the original version of TG. So, you know, yes, the modern version of TG still includes classic esports, but it's really mainly focused on the modern esports. So that's it's good and it's bad. I don't know if this is something that Twin Galaxies is actually um, doing. I doubt it, but if they, I think they're really taking advantage of the situation in terms of, and I don't mean like a negative advantage, meaning with all this negative drama going on regarding Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers, they're making the best. That's the word I should use. They're making the best of the situation. Yo, this internet is crazy, B. I'm getting real mad now. And you guys said when Black Pauldron was on and he was streaming, he was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's fluctuating. It's literally bad. Pauldron, you think your mom's upstairs on using Netflix, or it's just this is just what it does every now and then?
I don't know if anyone's using Netflix or not. I can check.
This
Is there a bunch of cell phones and shit hooked up at the same time?
No, I don't carry phones. I don't have a phone. Let me take a look at something on my end. Okay, what is this here? Close this, close that. Well, I'm on Wi-Fi, so I don't even think this even means anything. Let's see here. All right, close this. All right, I move this all over here. So, 1 second. Where's Steam? Yes, I'm on friggin' Steam. How the hell do I get out of this? Exit. It could have been Steam, guys.
Most likely was.
Oh, it's not? Well, if you think it's Steam, I shut off Steam. I exit Steam.
Steam's not gonna do anything.
Oh, Steam doesn't do anything?
Unless it's downloading, unless it's updating a game or something.
Well,
Updating the game, and that could have been Steam.
well, you said this might be that time of the night. Lag stream, yeah.
I
My.
used to do it in the nighttime too.
Well, anyway, going back to the Billy and the Todd situation. So, what's going on with the Billy and the Todd situation? Like that to me cannot be helped, because the people who are dealing with that's what they're dealing with. It is an exaggerated situation going on, guys, regarding this entire fiasco, much like the Todd Rogers situation. You know, popular opinion is what they're using to look at the situation. I'll give you the prime example, right? Let's take a second to. I'm gonna read you guys this question. So I made a video. I asked this question earlier about the video that I put out. Todd Rogers' legacy comes to an end, right? In the video, I talk about the decision Twin Galaxies made, the decision that Guinness followed up regarding Twin Galaxies, regarding Todd's record, right, and his entire legacy. And we understand that based on the information that they have, they had to make a decision, and that decision ultimately led to Todd being guilty in their eyes, however they see it, and they removed all of Todd's records and etc. 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 That's fine. And so my sense is that based on what I know, and I'm responsible with my information, I can't just put my information out in the public, or it will damage, in my opinion, it will damage Twin Galaxies. And I understand it's not Twin Galaxies' fault. There's an order of operations that's been botched up, and the public is not a forgiving entity. It's like this thing about the country being Christian and all this is a lie, because everybody wants everyone's head chopped off. No one is interested in actually talking about the situation and trying to recognize the situation for what it is. Everyone just wants, what? I heard you were what? And that's it. They just want you destroyed. If we're in a society where if a girl just comes out of nowhere and says, this guy raped me, you're guilty. You're not innocent. You're guilty because she said it. And now you have to prove you're innocent. So we're back to kangaroo court witch hunt days. So if someone says something about you, you're guilty until proven innocent, right? And that's the situation here. So I want to kind of look at the situation from a more you know, constructive point of view to try to get an understanding of what's going on in to see what's going on in the scene and try to figure out how to fix it.
Yeah,
Well,
I honestly don't think, like, if you really thought Todd was cheating, you wouldn't. I don't think you'd, you know, back them up. You know what I mean? Like you're standing behind them because you trust. You know
well,
what I mean? Like,
well, here's the thing. I will go as far as saying this. It's not really the friendship. That's not really what it is. That's a part of it, and it's a big part of it at that. It's just that things don't add up from my point of view. Um, the the people in the Twin Galaxies community, they have a different point of view. And the reason why people say this is kind of like a witch hunt or mob mentality is because if you don't think like everyone else, either A, you're in on the take, B, you're a cheater, C, actually, tell you what, like I said, I've been saying I want to read this comment, and but this is exactly the society's mentality.
well, that's the problem with a
Hold
lot
on,
of these
Dwight.
people.
Hold on, Dwight.
Yeah.
Aaron Seach says, I would question the integrity of any organization that would continue to support a person accused of cheating. Accused. Let's read into this. It's important for you guys to see this. Let's read into this. The guy says, I would question the integrity of any organization that would continue to support a person accused of cheating, especially when the evidence against the person being accused is overwhelming. There's two parts. There's two parts to this entire... Oh, sorry about it. Yeah, guys, try to lower the resolution, guys, because it looks like it's stabilizing now. It looks like there's just periods of fluctuation where it just keeps lagging and then turning off, right? But the guy says this. That's a two-part sentence. So if you support anyone, let's say you have a brother, right? Whoa, hold on.
Mechanical keyboard like a motherfucker.
Okay. Your keyboard is mad loud, Hector.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But Hector, I want to show you the mentality of people. So because I support Todd Rogers as a person, my integrity is questioned. That's like you have a brother or a sister and they're accused of a crime. You're supposed to instantaneously drop your family member. So today you could be walking in the street, you call your sister, hey Mary, what's going on? Everything's fine, yada yada yada. Hold on for a second, I'm looking at something on the news. Today Mary is accused of robbing a store. You're on the phone with your sister and they're talking about your sister in the news. You're supposed to say, Mary, how could you rob the store? What are you talking about? You're on the news. She goes on the news. What the hell? Listen, I can't be your brother no more. Bye.
Yeah. That explains the scene right now.
Like, what? I'm supposed to just dead the person because they're accused? All right. Let's take it to another situation, right? So, okay, we go past that and we get to the point where it's like, okay, she's taken into court. They try her. She's found guilty, right? Due to the evidence. Oh, the evidence is overwhelming. Well, evidence isn't necessarily fact. Evidence tries to produce you as close to lead you as close to the truth as possible. Because so many innocent people have gone to chair, gone
There's
to.
no smoking gun, so to speak. You
No,
know
no,
what I mean? Like,
it's not that there's no smoking guns. Evidence can be doctored. Smoking guns can be conspired. And there's, you know how many people have gone to jail, have hung, been gassed, been chaired, and they're innocent. Emmett Till is a primate.
a true smoking gun couldn't do that unless it was a frame up.
No, the white. Uh, I told you about the story about Emmett Till, right? Emmett Till was a little kid, black kid. They're making a movie about him. It's a story about Emmett Till. All right.
It's a horrible story.
Yes, it's a horrible story of a couple of white girls.
Fortunate.
Yeah, these teen white girls just accused this, I think he was 12 or 14, something like that. This 12, 14-year-old kid of raping them. He saw them in the elevator. He went in the elevator or something like that, and he looked at them. The girls went and they reported and said he raped them. They got the kid, strung him up, told him, fed him ice cream. Said, listen, it's okay, man. Nothing's going to happen to you. We just need you to confess. Coerced the little black kid to confess that the girls raped him, that he raped the girls, right? And guess what they did? The mob beat him to death. They destroyed him. They killed. It was literally just a setup. Anyway, 70 years later, the woman who accused him said, no, he didn't do it. He's dead already. In the court of law, there was an overwhelming amount of evidence and testimony and witnesses that said this and said that and blah, blah, blah. He was destroyed. He didn't have a chance in hell. He was gone. He's finished. Done. Kaput. What could he do? And so, not just because you have evidence of something doesn't necessarily mean it's fact.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying there's a difference between evidence and smoking gun evidence.
No. Smoking gun is evidence. That's it.
Yeah, but like it's irrefutable. Like
Nope.
unless
Nothing is
frame up, it's
nothing is ever absolute in anything. Nothing is ever, there will always be point one. You never know, because someone can doctor off smoking guns. Someone can doctor evidence to make it appear a certain way.
saying it would have to be frame up.
But that's why smoking gun. For instance, right? Someone's accused of robbing a store, correct? They have videotape of you robbing the store. But you go, that's impossible. I could not have possibly robbed that store. Why? Because I wasn't even there. Okay? Well, we're looking at a video and we see you. That's you. So this is the smoking gun. Okay? Here am I in another country live streaming on the same day. And you could contact Twitch TV or Google, whatever. Yeah, he was actually here live streaming. So how can I be in two places at one time? One of the evidence is false.
Yeah.
But if people don't know about the other evidence, then only one evidence stands to be true. So getting back to what this guy says here, when he says he would question any organization. This is what I'm talking about, mob mentality. So we've already accepted the decision that they've said about Todd Rogers regarding his Dragster score and all of his Twin Galaxy scores. And he's banned and they stripped him away of his Guinness records, etc., right? All those things are gone, right? We've accepted the verdict. We've accepted it. Meaning, it's like the solution to any problem is the solution to any problem, like when you want to solve a problem that you have, is accepting that there's a problem. So we've accepted the problem. We know what it is. I said we are going to help rebuild Todd's legacy. This is what I said in the video. I'm going to, Todd has served the organization. He's a good friend of mine. I want to help rebuild him because he's destroyed.
I agree with that. I think that's a great thing, and I'm looking forward to it.
So he's been destroyed. I want to help him because of what he's contributed to the scene, what he's contributed to our team, what he's contributed to the players and the organization. This is the verdict that they came up with. You got to live with the good and bad. right? If I'm with my wife is charged for a crime. She claims to our child she's innocent, but the courts find her guilty. I'm gonna still love my wife, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor. Death do you part, right? That's the vows, right? She claims her innocent. 1 second, hold on, because I'm gonna beat the crap out of this cat.
Sarah McLachlan music says, in the eyes of an angel. Is it Aaron? Is that...
Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah. So I'm gonna do what's in the best interest of my marriage. I'm gonna support my wife, right? That's just what I'm gonna do. So people are not gonna like it. Oh man, how could you support your wife? You should divorce her. And me divorcing her serves who? Me or you? And this, the mob. It's just what they want. It's not. They don't care about the people. They really don't. So this guy Aaron Seach, who's saying this, he goes, let me finish reading what he says. I'll start from the beginning. I would question the integrity of any organization that would continue to support a person accused of cheating, especially when the evidence against the person being accused is so overwhelming. But then again, shadiness goes hand in hand with EMP. Take Todd's claim scored on barnstorming, right? He claimed this time is faster than what the program can run if you have no obstacles and don't touch the controller, right? So pretty much what this guy is doing is, because we decide to support Todd and try to rebuild him, rehabilitate him, we are shady. So Aaron Seach, let me ask you a question. Those prison reform programs, those drug rehabilitation programs, they're all criminals and drug users as well, right? That's got to be it, right? Let's go with the mob mentality. So any organization that is made to help rebuild a person who is damaged, or we'll just use damaged generally, or a person that has a problem, those organizations are a reflection of the person. So soup kitchens and stuff like that. Let's say you become poor, right? Soup kitchens are poor organizations with poor people who've done bad things in their lives, right? Like take drugs and whatnot, and they made this soup kitchen to feed people who represent who they are and the mistakes that they made or the unfortunate situations that they've had in their lives. That's what those guys are. Veteran programs are ex-soldiers who've served in war. No one in society is helping them, so they decide to put together a veterans program to only help the veterans. So nobody helps veterans other than just veterans, because they're a reflection of the people that they're helping. That's the mentality. This is what we call witch hunting. This is the mentality. After the verdict was already made and set, the verdict was already set. Todd, we're taking away your record, etc., etc. Okay, I guess so. So we can't really do anything about it. That's the verdict they had on you, Todd. We have two choices. We could get rid of you, or we can help rebuild you. We choose to help rebuild him for his contributions to the scene and all this other stuff. But because we don't do that, we're shady. Because we're shady now. And it's just, this is the craziness that's going on in the internet. And Aaron Seach is not the only person. There's so much more, so many more other people. Come on. Right? Sorry about that, guys. Going on to Billy's situation. Let's take a look at Billy's situation, right? If you look at Billy Mitchell's situation, for me, Billy and Todd actually have a similar situation. because the reason why I cannot come down on Todd is because Todd is not, when it comes to dragster, I don't care about other people bringing up the other records, barnstorming and kaboom and all this other stuff, because there's things you guys don't even know about that from a Twin Galaxies organization. And like I say, stuff that I don't necessarily even want to talk about, because then people will try to demonize Twin Galaxies, and it's not Twin Galaxies' fault. Well, it's Twin Galaxies' fault, but it's not maliciously done. It was just a minor mistake, something that should have been corrected first, but it was not done. And because of that, now everyone's trying to cover their own reputation, and you have to have sacrificial lambs. And this is what happened to Todd Rogers. But I'll try to get to my point by making points regarding Billy and Todd in a different roundabout way. Everyone is like, yo, Billy cheated. Billy cheated? Explain. The records that he set for whatever, those are MAME games. Those are MAME games. Okay? Let's go for one instance and say, okay, they are MAME games. Alright? So they're MAME games. Show me the part where Billy Mitchell cheated. He played on MAME. You're listening, Hector, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So is Steve Wiebe a cheater?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking the question. Is Steve Wiebe a cheater? Let me give you Steve Wiebe's situation. Steve Wiebe orders a Donkey Kong board or whatever for his machine so he can play to go for a world record. He orders the board from Roy Schultz. This is what it says in the movie, right? Keep in mind, this is a movie, all right? He gets the board. He plays. He submits the record in, right? Twin Galaxies finds out the record. They go, yo, wait, hold on. You got $1 million and change? We need to come in and inspect your board. They come in and inspect the board. They find out Roy Schultz is involved. They go, I'm sorry, but due to Roy Schultz being involved, we don't know if the board's been doctored, etc., etc. You know what the Robert Merzak, the same guy who said Todd Rogers, cheated. He's a head ref inputting scores into a database with no proof, and then when he doesn't get the proof, doesn't remove it. But that's Todd's fault. But this is the type of nonsense I'm talking about, right? So they're gonna invalidate the score. So the score's been invalidated. Did Steve Wiebe cheat?
No, especially according to modern day Donkey Kong forum rules. They allow you to compete on MAME or cabinet, and they don't see a difference between the two.
Okay, so, but the point is, did Steve?
I mean, that's at least what I've been told. Sorry.
The point is that did Steve Wiebe cheat?
No.
No, he simply played the game. He's not. Steve Wiebe doesn't make Donkey Kong machines. He doesn't make Donkey Kong boards. He knows how to play the Donkey Kong game. Apparently, its involvement with somebody that was less credible invalidated his run. And guess what he did? He just did it again. Live in front of a place. I find it the hypocrisy that happens to Steve, and that could potentially be what's going on with Billy. But no one goes, did Billy know he was playing on MAME? They didn't ask that question. They just said he cheated. That was it. They never asked. Billy, you know your game you were playing possibly may have been on MAME the entire time. Are you aware of this? How come no one asked him that? Because I asked him, like, Billy, let's say that, I said, would you know the difference between a MAME and a Donkey Kong arcade game? He was like, no, I don't play MAME. I don't use MAME. How would I know? So I said, so were you aware at all that this could have been a MAME? He says, Triforce, I've gone to many different conventions throughout the years. I've played in many different places. Same thing for the Pac-Man in 1999, from Southern Fried Gaming Expo, from Arcade Expo, from Portland Gaming Expo to Florida Free Play, the Bannon event, all these events, even the one that Jace Hall hosted in 2015, Twin Galaxies event and whatnot. He goes there. They have machines set up there. The Kong off, all of that other stuff. Why? He's like, have you ever seen me inspect the board of a machine? And I was like, no. He's like, why would I? I don't know anything about it. An event's going on, right? Whether I set up an event or an event is actually being set up and going on, and I go to the event and I play the game, and that's it. He said, if there's any main business going on, he would not know. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm looking at it from not devil's advocate, but I'm being open-minded to the entire situation. This is why this is the main reason why I defended Todd. I see both sides of the situation. And I'm trying to find where something could have gone wrong. And for the Todd Rogers situation, so many things went wrong. So many things went wrong. But Todd is being hung out to dry. And now I see the same thing with Billy. And I'm like, this is crazy. I don't know if you followed me on Twin Galaxies, Hector. Same thing happened to me with the Black Tiger score. And
Yeah,
they,
no, I remember.
they were trying to insinuate I cheated until they found out, oh, okay, we saw how that happened. I understand. And then the total different situation. I was like, okay, Triforce.
On what?
It doesn't make a difference. The whites,
I
those,
was wondering what game it was.
it doesn't matter. It's the general point that matters. The details is what's used to manipulate people from the main narrative. This is why people... You see the thing that Jeremy Young did with all of these details? It goes away from the main question. Okay, let's say we're going to live in a world... Let's fast forward into the future in a time. Bam. Billy Mitchell's guilty. He played on a main game. All of his Donkey Kong games he's ever played has been main. Right? Did Billy Mitchell know? That's the question. Does he know? Did he know? Did Billy Mitchell knowingly get a Donkey Kong machine, set up a main version of the game in the Donkey Kong machine and play it because he wanted to play a easier version of the game? From what I know is that all the Donkey Kong games are relatively the same difficulty. So whether he played it on MAME or he played it on the arcade, he still performed 1 million points on a Donkey Kong game. So unless someone's going to tell me the version, and I've read the forums, and it pretty much says the game is relatively the same, 99.9% same. So unless you're going to tell me that 1% difference changes everything. But even if you do, the question is, was Billy aware? This is the question. So I'm asking Billy this, and based on my knowledge, when Billy told me, he's like, Triforce, I wouldn't know. He's like, you were with me at Free Play Florida. When you went to the when I watched him play the 10-foot Donkey Kong machine when they were trying to do a thing from the lowest score on the first stage. Keith Aperture he did a contest on that. He's like, I just go and play. Like, I didn't go behind the machine. And I'm like, yeah, I see your point. So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. That's all I needed to know. I just want to know that because that would determine where my stance is with Billy Mitchell. So as far as I'm concerned, there's two parts of the investigation. One, finding out if the game he played at Boomers, and crap, even the stuff at the King of Kong, if those were MAME-based arcade games. Well, it's really 3 parts. Well, actually it's 2 because it's one. Number 1 is one and the same. Can MAME be put into an arcade system? That MAME can be put into an arcade system. That much I know is true. Yes, you can put MAME into an arcade system. MAME is a multi-arcade. What is it? What does MAME stand for again? The multi-arcade emulation. I forgot what the M stand for. But so that's the first thing, right? So if that's the case, then now we have to know: did Billy Mitchell know that was MAME and willingly played the game knowing it was MAME? If he did, then he is a cheater. Because you knew and did it anyway. That's cheating. Not knowing does not make you a cheater. And that's my entire situation. But the entire internet jumps down on him. This is not the first time they've gone after Billy Mitchell. Remember Hector, the Pac-Man fiasco? Oh, multi-arcade machine emulator. Thank you, King. I'm not a MAME guy. I'm like, like raspberries are considered MAME things, but like I don't know. Like I get Ian to fix me up or Jaxo. Yo, make me a raspberry and then put the games on and I play. And that's it. I don't get into the technical things. I don't care. I'm just playing the games. So that's my stance on Billy Mitchell. And based on what I know about Billy Mitchell, nah, Billy Mitchell is he's innocent of cheating. Now, so that part in my book that's out of the question. That's gone. What I want to focus on right now is then, okay, knowing he didn't cheat, that's set. Now we need to find out if the games he played is really main, or is the tapes that they're looking at to investigate it doctored. One of those two. I compartmentalize the entire situation. Once we compartmentalize the entire situation, then we can focus on what is what. That's what I do. So then, once we find out what that is, okay, if we find out that the tapes aren't doctored, that the game is main, right? Because they need to check the board. I've read some guy called Neil came in on the Twin Galaxies forum and said he has the board and the original arcade. They could come and take a look at it and check it or whatever the case may be, and that stuff that you sent me earlier today, Hector. So the investigation on whether or not it could be MAME, or can some of the newer versions of Donkey Kong or whatever the case may be match the MAME? Because remember, MAME is just emulating what the arcade is, not vice versa. The arcades don't emulate MAME. MAME emulates the arcade. So it could be cheaper for Donkey Kong systems to be just emulated. Who knows? There's a bunch of other situations, and that's it. That's for Twin Galaxies and their independent investigators to find out. Now, if they come to the conclusion, Billy, this game is actually MAME, and they have to now prove Billy willingly knew, and played it anyway. They can't prove that. It's very simple. They have to move Billy's score over into the MAME section. That's it. And if Billy wants a actual, and then his score reverts back to his last known Donkey Kong version score, which I guess that would be the one back in the 80s, because there was no emulators back then. So it definitely had to be Donkey Kong. And if he wants a new score, he'll have to play for a new score. And then that'll be up to Billy if he wants to go. Well, I watched that show. What's the name of that show that came on last night? That it was some show, the East Side Dave or whatever. And Richie had stated that he's going to be playing against Steve Wiebe at the Kong-Off. So I guess whatever score he puts there, that'll be known as his official arcade Donkey Kong score. If they come to the conclusion that the game that they originally played is the main game. And
So,
that
I was
go
going to
on.
say, correction, Billy Mitchell's latest score that's listed on Donkey Kong Forum, the one they defaulted to, was his 2004 score of 900,000, 33,900. So
Okay.
933,900.
933,900. So shortly
2004.
2004. So it'll be under $1 million, right?
Yes.
So and that would be fine depending on what the verdict is. But the reason why Billy feels like this is a witch hunt is because he is not even being. They accused him, and in accusing him, there were videos already saying that Billy Mitchell cheated. It just said Billy Mitchell's a fraud, cheated. This is not the first time they did this. They literally did this with the Pac-Man. Billy Mitchell, fraud, not the first Pac-Man player. Like, my man, did you do the research first before you just put out that statement? Like, what's wrong with you people? What are you, guilty until you proven innocent? And then we literally had, that's when I made that documentary about Billy, regarding the whole, I had to go and compartmentalize, break down everything just to come to, oh, okay, so this is what it was, and then put it together just to find out Billy Mitchell was the first to do it. Why did I have to do that? Why couldn't we talk about this in a civil manner? This is why courts exist, because public opinion doesn't affect courts. The courts is just going to be like, get a jury, unbiased. This is why they always have to go through like a process of picking out an unbiased jury. They don't want to pick out anyone who's just like, yeah, I agree with what he says. No, they don't want you to agree with what he says. They want to know what you think, what your verdict is, independently.
Try first. You know what the court is actually going to say?
What?
Are you morons are actually fighting over a video game?
Well, that too. That too. That too. The courts would probably say that. Like, is this over a video game record? Yes, get out of my court. uh, it'd probably say that. But it is an unfortunate situation. So that's why everyone complaining. Like, I've read this both sides, the defenders of Billy. I've read the attackers, and this is neither here and there. Um, the defenders of Billy, those are some good friends of Billy, because you'll know who your friend is when the dark times start coming, and the pitchforks and the fire and the torches and the people are outside marching. The people you see come and stand by you, and they don't feed you to the mob. Those are your friends. So everyone is stating their stance. So Billy's not worried about it, because as far as Billy's concerned, when I spoke to Billy, he was like, look, if it is MAME, that's not on him. He didn't build a machine, right? That's not his fault. He's like, he has no problems with them moving it over to whatever and defaulting the score, and he'll go for another 1,000,000-point score, but that's got nothing to do with him. That's got nothing to do with his legacy. That's got nothing to do with the Hall of Fame. That's why I use a Steve Wiebe comparison. It's the same thing. Like, what, you're going to call Steve Wiebe a cheater because Roy Schultz could have some influence on his board? No, that's got nothing to do with him. That's why Steve Wiebe said, if I knew Roy Schultz had this problem going on in Twin Galaxies. Whose board was it? No, it wasn't his board. He ordered a board. Okay, it's like, okay, you're new to Twin Galaxies, right, Dwight? That's like,
but the one Billy was playing on, whose board was it?
He ordered it from some arcade company. And I forgot what it was. The guy, Neil, who went in there was saying what arcade company he represents. And the board came from there. Which is why he said, if you want to come down and take a look at the board, you can come down and take a look at the board. Because they could just come and take a look at the arcade and find out from there. That doesn't, to play devil's advocate, to show that I'm not, oh, you're just trying to make an excuse for Billy to play both sides. They could just say, okay, get a brand new official board, put it into arcade. They come down there, they check it, and they go, oh, well, yeah, the board is there. So we still have to check the tapes now. This is what an investigation is. An investigation is when you check all angles. All evidence is brought in. Everything is brought in, and everything is put on the table. Everything is weighed. And you have to look at the situation. That's what it is. Not, hey, man, some guy put up a video of compelling evidence. That doesn't mean anything. People can do stuff in Sony Vegas. I could have you play a MAME game, right? And if you're playing MAME, there's save states, right? You can watch the original tape of Billy Mitchell. Let me put you guys on to how devious the world is. If I have the original tape of Billy Mitchell, right? In less than a day, right? Donkey Kong, you can, let's say, if you're really zealous, give it about 24 hours or 48 hours, and you really want to get this out there. You could take Billy Mitchell's game, right? You could copy his entire game, get to a part of a stage or something like that. That's like where you want to put MAME is. Copy the exact same gameplay that he did in MAME by literally following the exact same thing. It's a pattern. You just, okay, he walked, he went up the stairs, he walked here, he jumped, he walked here, he did this, he walked here, did that, he did this, boom, or follow. In Vegas, in Premiere, and in any video editing program, especially with Photoshop, you can actually make your own movie world record game if you really wanted to. The technology is that godlike to this day. You can literally doctor anything you want. And it's very hard for people. The technology in Photoshop, in Adobe, is ridiculous in these days and age. Give a person a couple of years, you can doctor anything. And no one will know. And swap a tape. Is tape swapping something new in this world? Hell no. Tape swapping has always happened. Are you kidding me? That's one of the easiest things. Do I rule that out? No. So we need to find out if that's a tape. They said that, oh, well, Twin Galaxies has the original tape. Okay, Twin Galaxies, investigate the original tape. So I read someone else's post online about the original tape. Oh, I see what Billy's trying to do. He's trying to throw it back on Twin Galaxies, saying that they need the original tape. And actually, if you went to court, the judge is going to ask for the original tape. Where's the original tape? That's what the judge is going to ask for. Do you have the original tape? No? That's a problem. We need the original tape. because we don't know if the other tape is doctored unless we're going to submit in all the leaked tapes. I thought there was only one tape. How's it tapes? So that if there's tapes, that means there's recordings, there are copies. Okay? So if someone can copy the tape, if there's a copy of an original tape, let's look at this logically, people. Hold on for a second. Give me a second. We're going to say this is a tape. Someone makes a copy of the tape. It's a simple question. If you can make a copy of the tape, doesn't that give you an opportunity to doctor the tape? Yes or no? I'm asking that question wide open to everyone in the room.
No, repeat the question. I'm sorry.
If you have an opportunity to copy a tape, doesn't that give you the opportunity? Let me not. That's a loaded question the way I'm asking it. If you get a copy of a tape, if there's only one tape, one existing tape, and there's copies of a tape, because I want to ask this question straightforward, does that leave an opportunity for a tape to be doctored?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Two reasons. One, they could edit the tape as they see fit. That's one. And then two, when you go and copy a VHS to another VHS, it's going to lower the quality. So you could take the original tape, alter it as you see fit, and when you copy it onto another one, the quality is going to be lessened. And I mean, you're going to, and it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be more difficult to tell if there's a difference.
Okay. Well, there's a simpler term, but yeah, you're right about that. The simpler term is the fact that you're copying the original tape means you have an opportunity to doctor the copy tape. It's just that simple. If you are copying the original tape, you could doctor that. So the so-called evidence or whatever the case may be that they have out there, they need to find the original tape. Now, if they can't find the original tape, that does not throw out the case that it was not Maine. It just simply means they can't find the original tape. So the copy tape is now considered circumstantial evidence. It's still some form of evidence. It's just now circumstantial. It's something you weigh in. This is where, as humans, we have to make a decision on that. There's still other ways to determine now. There's other ways to determine whether or not the game was Maine. So, to me, when I'm looking at the Billy Mitchell fiasco, and my head is like this, because I'm like, this is all being blown way out of proportion for absolutely no reason. None. It's clear as day.
Here's my problem. Right now, they're in an echo chamber. The Twin Galaxies dispute is just filled with people that are all one-sided against Billy. Nobody's asking questions. Like me, I'd like to try to say that I'm neutral. You know, I'm open to facts, but nobody's questioning anything.
No,
One thing
I know.
that really needs to be questioned is, where did the tapes come from? Where did each tape come from? How did they were said to be leaked from TG reps.
Who leaked them?
Reps? Some of them were leaked from Dwayne Richards. Okay, but how do you know these are the authentic tapes? What proof do we have of that? These are not official tapes. These are leaks. These could have come from anywhere, despite matching up with performances from official sources. They're not, you know, the official sources aren't complete video evidence. They're just partial clips from his performance, and they're matching those performances with these leaked tapes. These leaked tapes, I would wonder if they would even count as
no, Twin Galaxies will never use leaked tape clips to verify any record ever. I have a video of me doing a video game partial score in Tetris, and Twin Galaxies is like, no, because we didn't get to see the actual gameplay when you did it. But I'm like, yeah, but I'm at the game menu when I just finished the game with the score still there. Nope. We need to see some form of, no, they didn't say we need to see some gameplay. They said we need to see all of the gameplay. So I'm like, okay. But now in this particular situation, now it's, oh, clips is good enough. What?
Yeah, we can match these leaked videos that could have come from anywhere. We don't even really know the sources of, because I didn't get a straight answer. We kind of know some came from Dwayne Richards, or one came from Dwayne Richards, and the others came from previous TG refs, we can obviously see compared to the original source that they are copies. They aren't as clear. They're VHS to VHS copies, so the quality's lowered, and there's other artifacts in there
Dwayne
that make it very questionable.
Dwayne Richard is implicated heavily in this, right? Because
Yes.
my Matt, I read what Dwayne Richards said on the Twin Galaxies board. My man said, I wanted to know if we can play something on main to find out whether or not referees can catch a fake game. The fact that that's out there, Billy brought it up. He's like, Richie told me, like, Dwayne Richards came and asked me about doing a fake Donkey Kong game to play a prank on Billy Mitchell. So we have a
There was like a couple strange Donkey Kong meme records posted at Twin Galaxies last.
huh?
There was like a couple strange ones, and there was like a couple strange meme Donkey Kong records posted at Twin Galaxies. One of them, for the first couple hours, you couldn't even access the video, and then all of a sudden he put the video up. I don't know if it's someone fucking around or not, or if it's like.
Well, what
something
does
legit and they-
what? Hey, lady, Night Fox, what's going on? Welcome.
You said that that people were trying to like put in fake.
No. That's okay. Because I was confused. That kind of took us off track. On the East Side Dave show, Billy, what's this guy's name? Richie Knuckles. Sorry, Richie. Richie Knuckles came on the show. Richie Knuckles started talking about Dwayne Richards because Billy has a lot of enemies in the classic gaming scene. People that don't like him, and he said that, and I'm just quoting what Richie Knuckles said. Richie Knuckles said Dwayne Richards came to him and asked him, can he make I'm paraphrasing, I'm sorry. Could he make a MAME game? He wanted to play a prank on Billy Mitchell by doing something in Donkey Kong on MAME. And Richie said, hell no, according to what Richie said, right? When Billy said that, right? No, not Billy. When Dwayne Richards said that, Dwayne Richards made a post on the Twin Galaxies forums. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I think it had to definitely be. Oh no, we're still into Wednesday right now. We're going on Thursday right now, right, guys? So yeah, it had to have been Tuesday night or today, Wednesday, earlier in the day. Dwayne Richards comes on and he posts. He literally says that he asked Richie about it, but not to the length Richie said. And then he asked another guy called Rick about it, and then never followed up on it. Now, see, here's where you have to use critical thinking. Why would you ask anybody about making a fake Donkey Kong score using MAME? Why would you ask that, period? Why is that even being asked at all? At all. I never followed up on it. Yeah, but you asked. So now, if this is called reasonable doubt, it is reasonable to believe that someone can doctor the tape, especially someone who was accused and implicated into it, wrote himself on Twin Galaxies either today or last night that he did ask someone about it but never followed up on it. Now I'm like, oh, so a doctor tape can be out there. Hold on, guys. Let me close this door because this cat keeps coming in and out. So yeah, so a doctor tape can be out there now. So okay, so I'm taking that into consideration. I'm looking at it like I'm no lawyer, but I can use my brain. All right. So what we have here is, right, I got Billy's testimony. He says he wouldn't have known if it was MAME, so he doesn't know. All he did is what he does all the time. He goes to these events, he plays these games, and that's pretty much it. And we're going to get into that thing later on about Billy Mitchell going to events and playing video games. I don't need to be on this page anymore because she is sleeping. All right, so give me a second. The stream is still lagging, right? Terribly, correct? Sorry about that, guys. I really apologize about the stream just being horrible. hopefully the
Have
audio.
you ever thought about putting in just audio for now or something?
Turning off the
Or like a
stream.
still image and just do audio just for now instead, because the audio is going to get affected too. But you know what I mean. You might be able to run a still image with the audio, and it might not fuck up.
Cursing. Um, I would have to call Pauldron in here. I'm not a tech guy. I wouldn't really know. So sorry about that. Um, we've been streaming for 52 minutes. I'm gonna stop at the hour mark, take a break, and come right back. Hopefully, we'll have a better stream. So and we can just run a still image. Cause yeah, you're right. This is crazy. Like this makes me mad, man. This really makes me mad because it's like of all the time, why is the internet even acting up like this? But in any event, so oh my God, I'm used to putting my hands in my pocket or whatever. It's so cold. But but in regards to Billy, like that's how I look at it. Okay, so we have someone implicated in potentially doctoring videotapes. They don't so far we don't know where the damn well actually Billy says Twin Galaxies has the tape, so if Twin Galaxies has the original tape, then that's pretty much it. All Twin Galaxies has to do is investigate the tapes. If not, then I guess the clips are considered as partial evidence, and they can look and they can, if Twin Galaxies can't come to any conclusion, they can well no, they can't come conclusive. They can't get any conclusive evidence whether it's MAME or not. That they will have to make a decision and come to a conclusion of some sort. And either way, this has nothing to do with Billy Mitchell cheating. So all the people out there talking about Billy Mitchell's a cheater, that's
Yeah, the
bad
only way
business.
it would be is if it was Billy purposely went out of his way to do all of that shit.
Exactly, and then you have to prove that.
And then he stopped each like they say he used save states, and that would mean he would have
But
to. He was recording the footage himself. He was stopping the footage at the right time and all this
But
shit. Like
Billy Mitchell has gone to the Kong off and competed in Donkey Kong and played at the Kong off.
it makes sense.
So in front of everybody, and Richie Knuckles is like the authority on the Donkey Kong machines. He builds them by hands. He hosts the Donkey Kong World Championships. Like it literally, the Kong off is literally the Donkey Kong World Championships. Literally, he hosts them himself. He makes the machines himself. Well, he doesn't make the machine, but what's the word for it? Not refurbish. He puts the machines together and makes sure that the machines are accurate, or so to speak, so that all the players are playing on accurate machines, or whatever the case may be. The things that Richie knows regarding players and stuff like that. Oh my goodness! I just find this is like the things because of what I know in terms of like both the dragster situation and the Donkey Kong situation. I'm saddened. I'm saddened on how things are handled, and this is gonna take a turn for something completely different. What saddens me, and you know something, um, what saddens me about this situation regarding Twin Galaxies, um, the state of Twin Galaxies right now is that all of this mudslinging, how this entire scenario is being handled, the way it's being handled, is literally sullying the integrity of what Walter Day put up. That is not going to be a popular or welcomed opinion in the Twin Galaxies community. Everyone's gonna feel a certain way about me saying that. But I say that because I'm looking at the situation as a whole. And there are things I know regarding both Todd and Billy and how these things are being handled. But if I say something, it really hurts the image of Twin Galaxies. If I don't say anything, it damages the integrity of Twin Galaxies' legacy, which was founded by Walter. Then there's a bunch of other side effects in terms of what happens to the players. And it's a situation where Twin Galaxies in where I'm trying to surgically help the situation by trying to get to the truth of the matter. And the people who are accountable for the decisions that they make, the promises that they gave, what's another word for this? Yeah, actually, the decisions that they've made and the promises that they stated. If these things were held in its accountability, Twin Galaxies wouldn't be in this mudslinging contest that's going on right now. But it's so bad. Personally, I'll tell you how I feel. If I come out and say certain things, then the target's on me now. Oh, let's go after Triforce now. Which, that's too late. They did that like last year. There's a list. You saw that list I sent you, Hector? Like, there's a list of people. You guys literally made a list that they're coming after. And it's like, it's crazy that there's a list. Sadly, there are people boasting who's next. They're boasting it. And it's like, do you not know what you're doing? Do you not see the damage you're causing to Twin Galaxies? So many people are so hell-bent on trying to prove guys cheated rather than trying to understand the situation overall and deal with the situation in a clean, professional manner. There's nothing clean and professional about what's going on right now in Twin Galaxies other than the verdict. That's it. The verdict is the only thing that's clean and professional. Everything.
I don't know, you feel the verdict on Todd was fair because, in all honesty, I mean, they promised that they would investigate that dragster score. They would do a hardware analysis. Okay. They would see the possibility of 5.51 was possible.
What?
And instead of going through with their promise, they completely just.
No, Dwight, let him talk. Dwight, let him finish. He's talking. Go on.
Yeah. Instead of doing what they promised to investigate if that score is possible, they just threw it all out the window. Where they were supposed to take those hardware analyzers that Ben Heck was building to use for further research to find if the score was possible. But instead of doing that, they completely threw it out the window, completely removed all his scores and banned him, and then contacted Guinness and had them remove his Activision record, the record that Activision got him from Guinness, without even proving if the score was possible, completely, in my mind, erasing him from history when they did not even go and confirm Omni Gamer's research. They did not put any effort into it whatsoever. Because those other two people who analyzed the code, they don't count because they weren't even included in the dispute. They were not questioned. So I don't think they were valid at all. Omni Gamer was the only one who got involved. We were able to question him, but Twin Galaxy promised that they would confirm his findings and see if they were true or not, and they did not do it at all. They just did this half-done investigation involving Ben Heck, which did not conclude anything, and just completely threw Todd. They didn't even throw him under the bus. They did much worse than that.
Well,
it was all a week after a certain video went
no
out.
cursing. Just letting you know. Go on.
No, I just said it was all like Twin Galaxies went from having the decision in March to within a week of Apollo Legends video dropping, all of a sudden they made a decision.
Yeah, but see, the Apollo Legends video did not have anything that was new. It was stuff that was known for a long time. All those scores have been sitting in dispute for months. They knew of every single score that Apollo Legend had brought up because they were sitting in dispute and they were being questioned. They were not proven that they were false scores at all. They were none of those disputes were ever resolved. Instead of resolving each and every one of those disputes, they just completely obliterated everything and just made a decision just based on pretty much what I look at as emotion. Even though they're a company, they based it on
cause that emotion. You know what
yes,
It,
exactly.
well, regarding Todd's dragster record, I compartmentalized. I moved Todd's dragster record to the side, focused on that.
Well, I mean that's part of this because the way they treated Todd means that they're more likely going to treat Billy Mitchell the same way, especially since there's much bigger pressure on Billy Mitchell
Nah,
now.
no, whoa! I don't know what you're talking about. There's no pressure on Billy.
Well, what
Yeah,
I mean is this is national news now. I mean,
so
it's bigger than it's the biggest thing that's ever happened. I mean, the way I look at it, we look at it as classic arcade super drama. It is the biggest that it's ever been,
that's
and all eyes are on
absolutely.
Billy Mitchell right now to
Let me ask you a question.
explain himself.
Let me ask you a question. All eyes on Billy Mitchell. Do you, from what I know about Billy, this is the best place Billy ever wants to be. All eyes on
True.
him. There is absolutely no pressure on Billy. There's
I
no
mean,
pressure
he's
on Billy.
probably not worried about any of this, but the problem is Twin Galaxies are already looking at, I mean, we can already see they're looking to have him get the Todd treatment. And what I mean by the Todd
Really?
treatment is score removal and ban. The evidence they put together is enough, according per Twin Galaxies rules, that if they conclude that it's true, they'll completely remove Billy Mitchell
No,
from Twin Galaxies
no, no,
completely.
no, 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 no. That's no, because that if let's say they come to the conclusion that the evidence is true that it is MAME, they have to prove that Billy Mitchell knew this was MAME and
True.
actively cheated. They have to prove that. They just because that's why I bring up the Steve Wiebe situation, right? Roy Schultz gave the board up, etc., whatever. His score was invalidated. It didn't says Steve Wiebe cheated. It said the score was invalidated because it was associated with Roy Schultz, and they don't know if Roy Schultz doctored his board for him to be able to do that. So they invalidated his score. It wasn't anything. There was nothing held to Steve Wiebe on that. They simply told Steve Wiebe to do it again. If this is a MAME game, okay, it's a MAME game. Now we have to find out whether or not if Billy knew it was MAME, set it up to be MAME. But I personally questioned Billy and I asked him, how do you get your games? And Billy is like, well, he'll ask a friend, get me a Donkey Kong game. I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to do this event. He does this now. He goes to the Kong-Off. He does it. Richie builds the games for him. He goes to Free Play Florida, Portland Wizards of War, whatever you call that, the Portland Gaming thing, Arcade Expo. He goes to all of these events. Southern Fried Gaming Expo. He went to the Twin Galaxies event in Bannon. He goes there. He doesn't have anything to do with the actual arcade games. He doesn't build them. He doesn't. Billy's not the type of guy who. This is why he goes to live events. You see, Robbie Lakeman did the new Donkey Kong machine. Robbie Lakeman knows about Donkey Kong. So Robbie Lakeman knows how to put the camera over him, go inside, check the board, and all this other stuff. Billy doesn't know how to do that. That's why at the Boomers event in Florida, he had Chris Childs do that. No, Robert Childs. I said Chris Childs. I'm thinking New York Knicks. He had Robert Childs do that, right? That because Rob knows a thing. So this has nothing to do with him. What the issue about Billy Mitchell, as far as I'm concerned, based on what I spoke to him about, Billy Mitchell is not a cheater because he's not aware of any of the technical aspects of the game. What we have to find out now is whether or not the game was actually MAME. So they need to check the board. But I already made a statement about the whole board playing the devil's advocate that they could just simply put in a brand new board now and go, oh, this has always been the board, right? But I told Billy that even if that happens, then they need to go check the original tape. And then everyone's like, oh, you're trying to say that that someone doctored the tape? Well, it said the tape, these copies of the tape were leaked. Copies? Copies. Where's the original? Because these are copies, right? Okay, if these are copies, that means someone copied the original tape. Well, if you copy the original tape, then it's reasonable to believe that someone could have copied a tape and doctored it. No, Triforce, why would someone want to do that? Okay, well, Billy said that, well, not Billy, but Richie came on. Richie is the Jeremy Young for the actual Donkey Kong physical machines, where Jeremy Young runs the Donkey Kong forums. Richie Knuckles is the authority in the Donkey Kong competitions. He hosts the Donkey Kong World Championships, aka the Kong Off. Every year with the top Donkey Kong players in the world, he builds 10 to 15 Donkey Kong machines, all with the verifiable whatever is it that he does. He's the expert on that. That's what he does. That's what he does. Thanks, Carl. Can you close that door? There's a wind is coming in. He builds the actual machines, puts them together, etc., etc. And this is what the champions go and they play on. This is how you got your Wes Copeland as a champion, your Robbie Lakeman. This is where you get your Hank Chen and the rest of these guys that all went there and compete. They all of the Donkey Kong people, they go to Richie Knuckles to compete for the Donkey Kong World Championship, to become the Kong Off, the King of Kong, so to speak, or whatever is it that is. All right, well, Richie came on the East Side Show, Dave Show, and said that Dwayne Richard came up to him and asked him, "Hey, Richie, could you help me make a fake Donkey Kong score using MAME?" When Richie said that, I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." He actually asked you that? Now, Richie is one of my good friends, very, very good friends. This guy allowed me to sleep in his arcade, to play games in his arcade so I can go after my records. That's how I became good enough to even play. Well, I was always good in Versus Super Mario, but I did my first deathless Versus Super Mario Brothers run in Richie Knuckles arcade because I had to learn the entire game from scratch, and I slept in between machines in his arcade overnight so I could play over and over and over and over again. So when it comes to like becoming the authority on the arcades, that is the guy. And when he said that, I was like, that's a big issue, because that's like a star testimony. What do you call that in court? A star witness or something like that. Someone comes in with a bombshell. So I said, but that's just his word. That doesn't necessarily have to be true, what Richie Knuckles said. Okay, so I'm looking like, okay, how is Richie Knuckles going to substantiate that? How he's going to prove Dwayne Richards came to him and said that? Lo and behold, on the Twin Galaxies forum, Dwayne Richard logs in and says he asked him. And some other guy called Rick. But then he says, but that's all it is. I just asked him. I never actually went through with it. I just wanted to see. Why would you ask, though? Why would you? Who would go and ask someone, how do you cheat and doctor a game? Who would ask that? Why would you ask that? Because I want to see if referees can catch it. Okay, so now based on Richie's accusation to Dwayne Richards and Dwayne Richards' own testimony saying that, yes, he did ask, but, okay, I'm going to take what Richie Knuckles said. I'm going to go with what he said. So he did ask you. Okay, well, then the concept of a doctor tape being in the air is now real. It is now real. Because that's out there now. Now, if Dwayne Richard came and said, I never asked him no such thing, then it's just his word versus his word. And it'll be, what they call it, immiscible. You would have to discount it because you can't prove either or. But I can now prove what Richie said is true because he just said it. It's literally on Twin Galaxy's website. You can go there and read it.
I missed what you said. Are you saying that someone had asked Richie Knuckles to doctor some tapes for him?
How did you miss what I just said?
Dwayne. No, I'm sorry.
Richie accused Dwayne Richard of asking him, how can you make a fake Donkey Kong score using MAME? That's what he said on the East Side Show. This is what he said on that show last night. The East Side Show Dave, whatever. I don't know the necessary name. I can't remember the name on it, right? That's what he said.
East Side Dave, I believe.
Okay, East Side Dave, right? When you go on the Twin Galaxies forums, 1 second. In fact, you know something? Give me a second. I'm gonna read word for word what he said, and then I'm gonna also copy this just in case. We need to make a copy of this. Spread the copy out for everybody. Just so we can have it said, because Twin Galaxy said that you can't change anything on their forums to edit stuff, but that's not necessarily true. People can edit for a lot of reasons, and when the time comes up and we need to be able to see who said what and hold their words accountable, we'll need to do it. So give me a second. I'm looking up for Dwayne Richards' post. Hector Turlock. Dwayne Richards. So this is what Dwayne says. Richie suggesting I asked him for help. The summer of the King of Kong release was the first year Richie was at Fun Spot. As far as I know, we went out for dinner. Gary Vincent and his wife, Dave Nelson, and Jen Sweet. Richie and myself. So those are all the people I went to dinner, right? So he says we weren't talking about King of Kong. I had been released from my protest about the King of Kong scores and acceptance. I said at the dinner table that someone should submit a bogus Donkey Kong score to see if the referees could catch it. Okay, so that's what he said. So take back on what he said. He's saying that he said someone should release a fake score so that someone could catch it. That is my experience with Richie. I think he is unstable, so I avoid him. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so then he says, I don't know anything about MAME. That is why I asked Rick if he would help in a possible scenario to see if the new referees could catch it referring to a fake Donkey Kong score, and then let them know. He wanted no part, and I never pushed any harder. That was it, because Hank had me convinced it had already been done. Okay, so let me copy this. 1 second, guys. I gotta copy this. This is very telling. It's a very telling situation right here. Bam. Huh?
Did you make toast?
Did I make toast? No, I didn't go upstairs. Community hall. Bam, boom. You guys should have it. There you go. Hector, I'll give you a copy, just so you can have this.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Oh, I gotta type something to you first. 1 second.
How was everything?
Yeah, keep the cat out. Everything's good right now. And thanks. Close the door, close it. Alright, so you have it. It's in the community hall. We'll have that there as reference. Right? So now, based on what I'm reading here, this shouldn't be hard to this shouldn't be hard for anyone to really pretty much say. I'm going to take Richie's Knuckles' words for it. And I'm going to tell you why. He denies asking Richie Knuckles about Maine. He simply said he just ran it by that someone should fake a score, right, to see if the new refs would catch it. But then he states here that he asked Rick about Maine and if it's possible for referees to be able to catch a fake score. That's pretty much the same thing. That's pretty much the same thing. He is interested in finding out if you make a doctored MAME score, if a ref will be able to catch it today. And my question to Dwayne Richard is, why would you ask that? Well, it's on it. It's obvious. The answer, according to him, is he wants to see if the refs could catch it today. That's what he said. That's his own words. It's standing right there. So the concept of a doctor tape or fake game being made, it's out there now. It's out there now. So when I see that, I'm like, wow, interested. So someone could doctor a tape and swap it out for Billy and to blame Billy or put mud on Billy's face. That kind of makes sense. That's not conspiracy. It's because Dwayne himself said it. He literally said it. And according to him, not saying Hank Chen said this, saying Dwayne said Hank Chen said this. He said that Hank Chen said it has already been done. Really? It's already been done? So someone doctored a fake tape before. You see, this is where critical thinking comes in, Hector. He said he asked Hank Chen the summer of the King of Kong's release. Interesting. The summer of the King of Kong's release. This is when the movie came out. Wasn't Jeremy talking about making comparisons of the King of Kong clips and videos about how it load? Well, according to Dwayne Richards, he said Hank Chen said it was already done. This was the king of the summer of the king. No, no, wait a minute. Actually, no. Let me stay away from that. That may not necessarily be true because oh no, oh no, no, it's true. That makes sense. That makes sense. I can put the two and two together. This is not saying it happened, but I'm putting a scenario out there for everyone to have in their mind. But that if it's already been done, that means a tape was doctored. There is a doctored tape out there. According to Dwayne Richards' testimony of Hank Chen, there is a doctored tape out there. Let me reread this one more time just to double check. I don't know anything about MAME. That's why I asked Rick if he would help in a possible scenario to see if the new referees could catch it. It referring to a doctored fake Donkey Kong score, right? And then let him know. He pretty much he's saying Rick wanted no part of it and never pushed any and Dwayne Richard never pushed any harder. That was because Hank, right? And this is if it's Hank Chen, it could be a different Hank, I don't know. Hank had me convinced that it had already been done. So whoever this Hank is, whether it's maybe Hank Chen or a different Hank, this Hank convinced Dwayne Richard that there's already been a doctored fake MAME Donkey Kong game that existed already in around the summer or the year of the Donkey Kong release. So there's been a fake tape already. So if a fake tape already exists based on Dwayne Richards' own words, then it is very possible that someone could have faked this tape. Billy could have faked the tape, or someone could have faked the tape of and swapped it out for Billy. But I spoke to Billy, and he's like, why would I need to do that if I'm live in public? Did Billy record his own game? No. Billy has people record games for him. He doesn't record his own game. He has someone record it for him. Every time Billy does an event, Pac-Man or the Donkey Kong, he goes out, he plays the game. He doesn't worry about the if anyone's ever been with Billy Mitchell, and I've been with Billy Mitchell to events, you go to Konga, he has other people, he has technical assistants do it for him, and he plays the game. And I know exactly how he feels. You don't have time to be worrying about all the technical jargon and all this other stuff. Billy's not a part of the Twitch era and the YouTube era where he sets up a third camera and then look into the board. He doesn't do that. He'll just go to a live event, that's a weekend event, and he'll have the tech staff do it for him. So Billy has never been involved intimately in his own record directly like that. He doesn't get hands-on with the computer, whatever. He just plays the game and somebody else does it for him. So whether or not this is MAME, the issue here is you have to be able to prove that Billy willingly knew it was MAME, played it. That is what makes him a cheater. If you can't prove that, then it's simply this. You find out if it was MAME or not, and if it is MAME, then the score is either removed from the database, moved to the MAME section, or whatever the case may be, and then Billy has to do it again. If you find out that it isn't MAME, that the tapes is doctored, then the score stays the same, and that's it. And this King of Kong controversy ends. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of professionalism. Now, I'm not the most professional guy in the world, based on whatever professionalism means, however people, whatever. I'm a very passionate guy, and I like to just speak truth to power, right? And just as is. I don't get into the politics and the narrative spinning and fake news nonsense and all this other who's on whose side and all this other stuff. I don't care about that. My main concern is to protect the integrity of gaming's history, especially when Twin Galaxies literally is the foundation to esports. It is the infrastructure built that took competitive gaming and turned it into a sport. This is at risk because people are just letting this botch up the way it is, and everyone's just going crazy. And I'm like, why is everyone going crazy over something that should be handled professionally? Like, how can I see this professionally but others can't? And I'm not saying Twin Galaxies can't because they don't stoke the fire per se. I've read some of the posts that Twin Galaxies administration and Jace Hall says they're just gathering information. But what I don't like about Twin Galaxies is that this is my criticism to them, is that they're not really doing a good job in trying to curb the outlandish behavior and accusations and statements of some of its members within the community. Guys are either straight up slander and libel or borderline. Real talk. And like Richie Knuckles said, because I know some stuff about the Donkey Kong community, and I am really trying to get Richie Knuckles not to drop this atomic bomb. And I mean an atomic bomb. They won't warn you guys because they have their own agendas at hand and their own interests to protect. But because of Walter Day's legacy, I'm going to say this, and I'm recording this because I'm going to put it up on Twin Galaxies. Donkey Kong players around the world, you know who you are. The comment that Richie said, those who live in glass houses shouldn't be throwing bricks. You know who you are. You write on the Twin Galaxies forums. You of all people should have shut your mouth because you know what you've done, and now they're not holding it. And this is why you keep your mouth shut. Don't go witch hunting. I'm trying to convince Richie not to do it because if he does it, this is going to be called Donkey Kong Gate. And I'm talking about a lot of people going down. And one of them won't be Billy. That's the funny part. The guy that the witch hunt is after won't go down. It'll be the other ones. That's all I have to say. You know, if your heart sank when I just said this, contact Richie Knuckles. Come to some type of a deal and talk. Get Jace Hall involved and have them sort it out privately, because this is going to hurt both eras of Twin Galaxies. And Richie really doesn't care because the way you guys are letting this go out. So that's not a threat. I am not threatening anyone. In fact, I probably have said too much. People are going to probably be mad at me. Why'd you warn him, Triforce? I'm looking at both sides. And this is a bad situation. A bad situation. And it's not going to go down good. So I am just trying to see if I can somehow... That's why I'm recording this segment. I'm going to upload it and post it on TG so that people can take a look and be like, whoa. So, yes, Donkey Kong players, you know who you are. You know what you did. Contact Jace Hall. Contact the Commissioner of Twin Galaxies. Contact Richie. Say you want to settle outside. And I would urge Richie, this message is also to Richie, to at least give them that opportunity to kind of diligently come to a compromise, quietly and professionally resolve the situation, and for Twin Galaxies to be able to make amendments or adjustments so that the integrity of Twin Galaxies is maintained. That's all I have to say about that. So I stopped the recording on that. We're still streaming, but I just wanted to put that there. I'm going to upload that to my stream because, you know, I'm really bothered by the whole Twin Galaxies situation because it's like, I wonder, do these guys really care about Twin Galaxies, or is this just the hot thing in these streets, in these virtual streets and whatnot? Which brings me to a new situation. Does anyone know a guy called Tipster? Anyone know a guy called Tipster?
I was about to bring that dude up because I don't know if you saw it. He made a video about you about 2 days ago. I posted it.
Yeah, I know. So
another little fat guy that can't get out of his chair, so he just talks about people.
We're not gonna let's not slander and attack him because according to what he says is that when Billy Mitchell attacked him, right? Yeah, when Billy Mitchell attacked him in my podcast with him, because I didn't stop Billy Mitchell, he says that Billy Mitchell's opinions are a reflection of mine. I found that crazy. I was defending him in the whole thing because I was under the impression that someone from the outside leaked misinformation to him, and he made a video on it. That's how the whole Billy Mitchell not being the first Pac-Man thing came up, and I debunked the whole thing, and I just corrected his thing, and someone said, oh, they started, like, people started going ham on him, and I said, don't blame him. He's just a pawn in the whole thing. Someone manipulated him. He then says no one manipulated him. No one manipulated him. He did it. He got the information on his own. No, he saw the information somewhere. He didn't research the information and he put it up. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, so then you are what Billy Mitchell said you were. So, like, I don't understand, like, what you want me to do? But the point is, I defended him. He then says he doesn't see eye to eye with me, and that we have issues, or like, and I'm like, I don't have any issues with you. I don't know you. And that's the reality of it. But I'm not here to talk about him. I'm actually here to talk about his comments about me that misrepresent me. And since we're talking about this whole thing with the age of Twin Galaxies integrity, let's go over it. So there's this, and it's funny because when Richie Knuckles drops, if they can't, you know what this is like, and I don't mean to get political or geopolitical. This is like Palestine and Israel right now. They need to come up with a two-state solution, or it's going to be a problem. There's going to be an intifada, or however you pronounce that. I apologize if I messed up that word. But it means like one side revolts, and then a lot of people start dying because they're fighting for their freedoms and all that other stuff, right? But we don't want that in Twin Galaxies. Well, at least I don't. We kind of want something where there's Twin Galaxies governs the situation and hold the people. Whoa! Calm down. Can't be getting away with nonsense. And regulate the situation. Govern the matter. So, you know, he says that that I said that young people today, Guinness World Records don't matter. He then broke that up and said they shouldn't be playing classic games. He says that's what I said. Paraphrasing. That's not what I said. So I'm going to have to break it down the long-winded way, since anything a person says, all of a sudden someone just takes and they don't go, what do you mean? Now, keep in mind, he brought me to task on Twitter and asked me outright. So what you're trying to say is that people playing, modern gamers playing classic games and their Guinness World Records don't matter? So I put, no. That's not what I meant. So he said, oh, I thought that's what you meant. But then he made a video saying that's what I meant. And I'm like, now keep in mind, on Twitter I said, would you like me to come on your show or call you directly and explain what I mean so that you understand what I mean? He said, no, thank you, no needed. But then proceeded to go on the show and misrepresent me. I was like, really? All right, fine, whatever. So for those who don't know what I mean, let me readdress the situation. There are a lot of false classic gamers out there, old and new. But in this regard, we're going to talk about the new ones, right? I'll get to the old ones in a second. Actually, let me get to the old ones first. We'll hit up the old school guys first, because they got to be checked, right? There are a lot of old school gamers, who are false in their narrative about the support of the classic gaming scene. When they were kids, they used to go to the arcades, they used to play games and were good at them. They got bullied and teased. How do I know? Because I was one of those guys in that age. Oh my God, you play video games? What type of, yo, my man, get your sneaker game up. Yo, go get a girl. Go play sports. Get a job. Get your money game up. Stop wasting your time with video games. Anyone over the age of 35, and you play video games, you've all heard this line. You've all heard it. These are the facts. Now, most classic gamers who grew up in that age and they're now in their 40s and their 50s now, most of us, not me, I'm definitely not one of those guys, but most of us stop repping our set. For those who don't know, with the ghetto lingo, it means you stop representing classic gaming. You play classic gaming privately to yourself or amongst your small community, because you didn't want it to be ostracized by the general public because playing video games back then was not cool. It's cool now, but back then it wasn't cool. So you didn't go out, you didn't support the scene. You have guys, the real OGs, like Billy Mitchell, like Todd Rogers, like Joel West. Walter is counted in it. Tim McVeigh. And I'll tell you why I named these people. The Steven brothers from Mario Brothers. Keith Aperture. Steve Sanders. The King of Kong crew, right? I'm probably missing a couple of guys, but I'm just generally, for those who are listening and who have no idea what I'm talking about, who are these people? It's a small few. About 50. About 50. Those guys are the real guys. I'll explain to you why. For the 30-something years they've been playing classic gaming, they've gone to video game competitions, on TV, video game events, conventions, expos, festivals, tournaments, mainstream TV media, whatever it is, to promote their passion and their love for competitive gaming. They were ridiculed for it, and they still did it anyway. In the streets, we call that repping your set to the fullest. There's a lot of false OGs out there who didn't, this is not cool, this is embarrassing. So they stopped. Every now and then they get a phone call from their friend. Hey, you want to come play this old arcade game? Yeah, man, I'll come meet you. They didn't want to be caught at their age repping their set, because it wasn't socially accepted. You play these arcade games? Come on, man. Like, get your life together. They were susceptible to that. So they never really loved the games like that. It's like how, I don't want to necessarily bring it, it's like how homosexuals back then, being homosexual wasn't in at the time. It wasn't something accepted by society. So that's why they call them closet homosexuals. That was a private life they had to live. It was an alternative life that they cannot make public. So they didn't rep their set. But then you had the true homosexuals who were out there as like, I'm gay, and you're going to deal with it. And you go, whether you like it or not, you got to give props to the person because they're repping who they are to the fullest. And they don't allow society, and they don't allow public opinion to change who they are. That's why I like Vegeta, because he will never throw away who he is. And that's who those people are. So whether you are into any of these isms, any of these alternate lifestyles, or these sexual orientations, or whatever it is, I will always respect a person who stands for what they are. I'm going to always respect them, even if I disagree with their stance. I'm going to be like, at least you rep your set. So, for all you fake OGs out there who hid, you get no respect from me. That doesn't really mean anything, because who am I? So, to you. So I understand your point. But I bring this up because you have a generation in the future who do exactly what you are, but in a different way. So let's get to the new school. The new school guys, a lot of these young whippersnappers, wet behind the ear, breath smell like Similac, all of this nonsense, come around acting like they like these old school games. I didn't say all of them, but there's a vast majority of them. They're false. They don't care about classic games. They don't care about the community. They don't care about the culture. They don't care about none of that. King of Kong came out. Classic games got big. Oh, especially with the Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell fiasco going on. Woo! It is now the time to be into classic games. A lot of false guys coming around, and they're just here to try to make a name off of legends. Literally. That's what they're here for. There's a lot of these guys in the Donkey Kong scene. That's who they are. That's why I criticize Steve Wiebe openly. Okay, Steve Wiebe's old enough to be a classic gamer, but yo, Steve, where were you from 1980 to the King of Kong? Where were you? Billy was out there on TV with Ben, with Todd, with all these other people. I mean, Todd Walker, and they're traveling the country. U.S. national video game team doing their thing in games. Where were you? He had an alternate life. No, not an alternate life. He had a life outside of gaming that took precedence. Okay, fine. But this narrative that, oh, Steve is this OG rapper. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm that down. We give Steve Wiebe 3 stars, but he don't get that 5-star general because he wasn't there during the war. He wasn't there during the age. He wasn't out there repping the set when it wasn't popular to rep the set. And especially for the movie, well, let's be realistic, guys. It's a movie. So that's enough motivation to want to go do it in a movie. Now we give him a 3-star badge because he's putting himself out there in the movie. Like, this is all over a Donkey Kong video game, which people were saying. They were laughing at it. But all right, you get your 3-star. But 5-star, no. You don't get that. You can't get that. You have to be there. You have to be there whether it's good weather or bad weather. If you're only there for the good weather, you can't get that 5-star. It's like a marriage. I only want to be with my wife during the good times. I don't want to be with her with the bad time. Then I'm false. It's a false relationship. And that's how I look at the situation. I'm simplifying it so people can get that understanding. The people in this day and age, these young guys out here playing these classic games and setting records and beating these records, these guys are false, man. I'm telling you. Not all of them, but a mass majority of them. They're false. They're not doing this for the culture. They don't care about the scene. These guys don't go out to these gaming conventions. They don't do what Billy... Okay, Florida Free Play 2017 last year, right? The Legends panels was there. Richie Knuckles was there. Todd was there. Billy was there. Tony Temple was there. There was a bunch of legends in gaming that was there. These guys go to these conventions annually. Sometimes 4 or 5. Billy goes to like almost 10 a year. And he's been doing it for all of his life. He's still doing it now. He has a hot sauce business. He has a wife. He has children. He doesn't need to do anything. He has money. He's good. So why is he still doing this? Because he loves his culture. He loves his community. He literally helped Walter and other gamers build it out. And when everyone was laughing at him, he was a skinny dude out there putting that show on. And then now, someone goes, Billy used MAME. He cheated. Not just Billy used MAME. We need to find out if he knew that, if he was aware of that. Because if not, we're going to have, if he wasn't aware, then we're going to let him know we have to invalidate his score or move it into the MAME category and he'll have to redo it again. Could have always just did that. But no, the instantaneous moment. Oh, it's a cheater! Whoa, calm down. So when I look at some of these new jacks, and you new jacks are the ones I'm talking about, you need to call Richie Knuckles and Jace Hall and start a plea bargain deal. Start that plea bargain. I'm telling you. Y'all think I'm playing around. Like, I'm not joking. I shouldn't even be telling y'all this. Start your plea bargain. Right? And Jace, you should be looking at, you should contact, you should put something out, Jace, because this... Oh man, this is not a good. This is the dark ages, B. The knights of the arcade games, the knights of Arcadia. Y'all need to come out, B. If we need y'all now, it's more now than ever. It is about to get medieval. This shit is gonna be medieval. The Inquisition. So many people, dudes, are gonna be wiped out of Guinness Book. That should give you a hint to who I am talking to. So you better contact Jace and hit Richie up. Start your plea bargain. I got nothing to do with your situation. I'm just giving you the fair warning. I was told not to tell anyone. But I'm like, but this is not going to help the scene. This is going to hurt the scene. And I'm trying to be that middle guy to try to save the scene as much as I can. I can't save it by myself, but as much as I can do. Anyway, that's another. So these new guys are really just making records because they just want to be able to put down the old legends so they can make a name for themselves in these modern games. And it is sad that they do this. It really is. And that's what I said, that these people are false. They're not the real deal. The real deals will have respect for the elders, for the elder gods that came before them and laid down the path for them to be on. So when they get a record, it means something. But these same guys don't have that. Same guys like straight disrespect. And that's what I meant to Tipster, and he took that and changed it and took out the context. But we live in an age where no one cares about context anymore. Very few people care about it. And let me stop being so... I got to stop using words everyone and stuff like that. I'm going to start saying general. Go on.
Your like streams from like July to do with like, instead of linking your recent responses to the situation.
Well, no, the stream, yeah, but at that time, the message I just said now is the same thing that I said in July. I haven't changed it. All I did was embellish on it. That's all I did. Not embellish, elaborated on it. That's it. Just went into more details, just in case anyone didn't, get that. But
I don't know. I just don't see why, when there's several streams available that are like only a couple days old at that point, why would he decide to post to link to one from July? I don't know. It's just weird.
hey man, that's what it is. Anyway, we spent a good hour and 40 something minutes on the Twin Galaxies gate, or the Twin Gates, the Twin Gates, and you can put Billy and Todd on one side of the gates, right? The Twin Gates. So hashtag Twin Gates, y'all. So we let's move on to a different subject altogether. So I don't even know if I want to even go into this. I don't even think I have the energy to go into Dragon Ball Super. I really don't. Do I have the energy for this, guys? Do I really have the energy for this? All right, so based on the spoilers, unless the spoilers are to trick us and get us emotionally charged up, Dragon Ball Super's ending is trash. It's exactly what you thought it was. Superman ending all over again. And I'm tired of this. So, oh my goodness. I don't want to talk about Dragon Ball. I'm done. I'm really done. I don't want to talk about Dragon Ball. Like, it's just... I'm just disgusted by Dragon Ball. I really am. So what else were we going to talk about? I had like 4 topics in the Can someone, okay, let me see something positive. All right, so oh, hey Baraka, what's going on? I see you in the room. Okay, the media is catching up. Twitter, Nintendo Life, Billy Mitchell's reacts to accusation of fake Donkey Kong high score. Really? This is Billy Mitchell reacts to fake accusations. Oh, so they quoted Billy Mitchell. Hey Dwight, Twin Gates, y'all. Thank you for the donation. Oh, speaking of which, hey guys, listen, for everybody that's in here, because I'm going to be streaming for a little bit tonight, keep in mind I am trying to raise money so that I can get back to Jamaica. As you can see, it says 241 hours over the mark. I'm trying to get $300 more out of this 200 and change. If I can get this to at least $500, then I'll be able to get home, because my sponsor is sending me some money. Well, I don't know why it hasn't cleared, but yeah, we're waiting for it so I can try to get a plane ticket to get home, so I can get home by next week, so I can at least be home finally. I've overstayed my welcome here in America, and take my girl out to what's the name of this thing here? Valentine's Day. Baraka Play, thank you for the donation. So anybody, whether you're in our
You gotta
YouTube,
take her somewhere nice, some good restaurant or something
I
nice.
don't have no money for that. I'm just gonna get home and just be with her. That's all I can do. I'll probably just, well, I told you I'm gonna vlog it. I'm gonna, I'll probably cook her some food. Yeah,
Yeah,
treat her.
that's just good.
Yeah, treat her. Can cook her some dinner. Give her breakfast in bed, dinner in bed. Play some video games. Stream that day, right, while
Bubble
vlogging.
bubble in bed.
Bubble Bobble and Dig Dug. I don't. Well, what are you talking about? We're just gonna be playing games, B. Bubble Bobble and Dig Dug. I don't. This Bubble Bobble and Dig Dug in bed. What are you trying to say, B? All right, we gotta watch our mouth here.
She could play it while she's eating breakfast.
Please talk about Dragon Ball Super and what it means for the series. Super Saiyajin. Super Saiyajin. Can you link me to the podcast? I'm trying to get out the word. Hector, are you talking about this podcast?
Yes, this podcast.
Let me see.
Thought you guys were live
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
No, we are live.
Yeah, I want the Donkey Kong community to see what you were talking about with the nuclear bomb.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would have to stop this stream and then go into a
No,
different.
no, I don't want you to do that. Okay, we'll
No,
just.
no, 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 no. You can because if I stop the stream and make a slight change and come right back, then
Gotcha.
because this stream is going, it's at an hour and 48 minutes, and if we're not talking about Twin Galaxies no more, we've decided to move on to Twin Galaxies, then we might as well just make that one whole clip, and then I can start something else.
Right, because I mean, you made a lot of great points. I want these people to see it. I wasn't able to talk about it with a lot of people, so I want them to see what's coming, what's planned.
All right, then I tell you what.
This will help them out.
Let me close this. Let me close out the Twin Gates. I'm gonna even change the title to Twin Gates. It might as well call it Twin Gates, right?
Hashtag Twin Gates.
Yeah, hashtag Twin Gates, right? Hashtag Twin Gates conspiracy. How you spell
tinfoil hat.
I'm gonna call it the Twin Gates conspiracy, right? All right, so I'm gonna save it. There's a Twin Gates conspiracy. Let me see here.
Twin Gates was an inside job.
All right, I'm gonna go to the channel. I'm gonna close out the Twin Gates conspiracy piece with let's see here. Go to Creative Studio.
I don't know why that name sounds so funny.
Twin Gates. Yeah, I gotta put it out there, man. Hashtag Twin Gates. Okay, so let's see, live streaming. I'll get you the link in a second. And the internet's all of a sudden good now. This is why I don't like streaming. I have to stream. If I'm not streaming at 6, I have to stream at 12 because in the middle of these days, like in the middle of the night, like around 10 or so, the internet acts so stupid. Oh, and thank you for the donation, Baraka. I'm getting that for you, Hector. Give me a second. Let me. Where are you?
Super Saiyajin?
Super Saiyan. Give me a second. We're gonna talk about Dragon Ball. I'm gonna close out this particular scene. We're gonna close out this entire situation. Why is this playing? Pause. All right. Give me a second, Hector. I got you. Give me a second. I gotta give you something real quick.
Sure.
All right. Here, you can use this. Makes it easier for you. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. Why?
Oh, that's the.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave you 2 links, so let me know which if they work, just in case. All right, so to close out the Twin Gates situation, so here on the Billy Mitchell reacts to accusations of fake Donkey Kong high score, right? Kisan, thank you for the $1 donation. So it says this is Nintendo Life. Nintendo Life. Wait, oh, you hit me up? What is it? Okay, let me see something here. Oh, you hit me up the same thing that you said here. Okay, so One second, let me go back to this article. Where's the article? Nintendo Life, it says, Billy Mitchell is a famed name in the competitive gaming scene, both for the records that he set on arcade games and for the role he played in the story behind the King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. Recently, Mitchell's achievement with setting the Donkey Kong high score has been called into question, with some accusing him of editing together the runs that he did in emulation software. Now he comes out with a response to the naysayers. Wait, I didn't know they're saying he edited the video?
Yeah, they're saying basically it was save state, and he just stopped and started at all these save states. Which, if we get our hands on an actual video, we can prove that to be true or false.
How?
We can prove that the video started or stopped, I guess, if you have the actual video.
There are black screens in between the game, so if you save state, you can always reload
Yeah, I guess.
So there's no way to find out that.
Maybe in the audio, I don't know.
It depends. I work.
You have to analyze it.
I work in Premiere.
Fine.
So unless they have some type of program that can tell you what when a video has been edited and how it's been spliced together, that's going to be very difficult to do. But whatever, we'll get to this. Anyway, in a recent talk show, Eastside Dave, the topic was discussed, with Mitchell declaring that he's completely innocent. Here's what he had to say. So I guess they quoted Billy from the Eastside show. I never even played MAME. I don't have MAME loaded in my home. The film footage that he has, that's Jeremy, the initial accuser, has, shows MAME play. Now, I contend that if he gets the original tape or he gets the original room shot, he will see that what I say is true. I am not disputing what he says. What I'm disputing is the fact that I want him to have the original tape. And the fact of the matter is that the original footage was given to Twin Galaxies. Twin Galaxies has it or should have it. And if it's anywhere other than Twin Galaxies, that's a real problem. Mitchell then goes on to explain that two other men, Todd Rogers and Pete Bouvier, were supposedly present at the set of the score. Okay, Twin Galaxies workers have heard of the existence of a tape of the score set. Nobody has been able to find it. What do you think? Billy Mitchell really set that score? Share your thoughts. Actually, everything Nintendo Life said was good as an actual this is an actual article, because all they did was stated the facts. However, the question at the bottom, I think, is a little bit over the top. Asking people, what do you think based on this limited information, is unfair. That's swaying and creating a suggestive theme.
What they're doing is they don't care about that. They're looking for
comments and interaction. Engagement.
Interaction.
I know. That's why I didn't say what they did was wrong. I just think it's a little bit over the top, because this is what starts the foolishness. People with no experience and lack of information chiming in, and then they start using their emotion to think of the situation. Someone could go, who's Billy Mitchell? That's a guy from the King of Kong movie, the one that was being so mean to Steve Levy. Yeah, man, he definitely cheated. What? You just came to that conclusion because of that? That's the crazy part. They just come to that. This is because of that. So it's kind of like
a lot of issues with I don't know too much, but like with the speed running community, with a lot of these runs, there's several, like with certain games, I know there's like certain methods that people use, right? They're like they're the agreed upon methods and the agreed upon fastest method, and the only way to beat is to do this method and maybe try to scratch your second off here and there. So, like, you know what I mean? So they're only trying the same methods over and over again.
But then the reason why that each hold on, Dwight, hold on. Each Twin Galaxies administration has different policies. The rules change in each generation. In the modern Twin Galaxies, Jace Hall, when he started restarted Twin Galaxies, gave everyone a clean slate program. Everyone had a clean slate, start all over. All transgressions in the past would not be held against you in this day and age. Only what you do now will mean something. And I'm on Twin Galaxies, and I remembered when he made that post. In fact, I have a couple of the posts saved when he said that.
What is going on now then? I don't understand.
Which is that's the question. I don't understand this. If there's a clean slate program, this is what I'm saying. Like, things are kind of going out of hand, because in my opinion, if you're going to do a clean slate program, why not all records that are in question should be suspended, independently and privately investigated, either restored after you find out if it's true or removed after you find out it's false, and give everyone the clean slate you promised. But that's not being done. Like I said, there's a lot of craziness going on. As every administration that happens, there are new policies, new rules, a bunch of things that happen that are different. You don't know. Games had scores imported from different sources by different people who ran the company. Scores that were supposed to be removed from the old age, which was never removed. Scores that were suspended and locked up is unlocked. It's just too much craziness. And it's like, and I understand it's a lot. It's very overwhelming. Twin Galaxies is, for what they have to do, it's a very large task. But even Twin Galaxies admitted themselves. They said, you know, it's difficult. You know, these are the growing pains. It's a new era for Twin Galaxies. And Jason team is working the best that they can to get it done. So it will, in my opinion, if someone asks me, so what do you think about Twin Galaxies? Well, first of all, I'm going to defend Twin Galaxies because that's Walter's legacy. So yeah, I'm just going to defend it. And I'm confident in the Twin Galaxies administration and Jason that they're gonna get this done. It's just going to take them time. There's going to be a lot of bumps in the road. There's going to be a lot of turbulence. But I feel that some of this turbulence can be handled better, right? Rather than having these typhoons and tsunamis and thunderstorms happening. Those things can be controlled, but like it's their organization, so they're on it. We'll see what happens with that. I can only look at each issue one at a time. All right, guys. So that's it for us on this segment of the Twin Gates conspiracy. Or the Twin Gates fiasco, whatever you want to call it. Controversy. Controversy is a better word. Yeah, let's turn that word to controversy, guys. The Twin Gates controversy. Whoa, no mean. Controversy. All right. We're going to leave it at the Twin Gates controversy. So, you know, that ends up our segment of the Twin Gates controversy. We're going to end this portion of the stream. We'll be right back, guys. And when we come back, we will be talking about...
Dragon.
Oh boy, I really don't want to talk about Dragon Ball, but whatever. We'll talk about that. All right, see you guys in a bit. Give me like 5 minutes. We'll be right back.